let's head over there to the Skybox. We got Mr. Stackhouse and Dazzy Boy waiting to cast the match with G2 already clinched. All eyes on Version1's performance in this first matchup as they need a few dubs under their belt to clinch their spot at the San Diego Major.
Lots of nervous bystanders watching these first couple of series. Dignitas in particular wondering who else is going to contend for the throne. And in this series, Optic and Shopify Rebellion wondering who will stand in their way as they try to continue this miracle run towards San Diego. And G2, they just get to sit back and go, all right, bring the fight to us, because that's what V1 has to do if they want a spot in the major.
Absolutely. All eyes on this match, and you know some people got the heart rate monitors out as well. Can Version1 step up to the task and face a G2 squad that has had their number in multiple events here? That is going to be the kind of true test of question. If we already had things start off on kind of a hot note here in game one.
G2 going up against what has been one of the stingier defenses here in the Winter Invitational. Version1 only allowing 1.4 goals per game. Barely even allowing 6.5 shots, just a little bit less actually for the opposition. Not that they've necessarily gone against offensive juggernauts here in this event, but they've scored plenty on their own, and Com's got the first here.
Look at this great read from Beast Mode there, right? Gets the flip, he uses it to just have that threat. Gets it over to Com, great pass, great shot. V1 off to the first goal in game one.
Version1 trying to end a 5-match losing skid against G2. Off to a good start. Beast Mode blocked by Atomic, as Com will line this up on his own backboard, and the second touch will play that out to the side where Chicago's waiting. On comes JNaps, he's floated it high. Atomic to finish it, Torment right there in his way.
G2 pressure has definitely been very solid here, at least in that first offensive play that we saw from them. Still haven't gotten a shot on yet this game, but the speed is definitely there. V1 have been just able to kind of play to that G2 speed. They've been able to work around it really well. Torment almost got that one past JNaps, but JNaps recovered in time.
It does feel in a lot of ways as that one's set away by Com that we're kind of seeing shades of the old V1 that was kind of absent in the early stage of this split, and maybe they've come back at just the right time, needing to, at the very least, get to the grand finals, and maybe might have to win the grand finals to secure their spot in the major. But they've got G2 in the way, and a laser from JNaps equalizes game one.
Yeah, a laser is right. Look at this from JNaps. Great read, great shooting as always. Anytime you see JNaps in a playoff bracket, you always have the threat of him being able to place shots perfectly with a lot of power. He does it there to equalize this game.
One thing that is noticeably absent from Version1 statistically, as Atomic tries to get around Beast Mode, easier said than done. That's a great touch out of Com. The demolitions from Com have not been there. Not just this event, but the entire split. He has not been the demo demon that he's had the reputation of, as Beast Mode couldn't get that around Atomic. And JNaps has this all day from the back line, and decent control to get around one. And he can be downfield for Chicago now. Atomic, shot just a little high. Second touch as well off the mark, and a missed opportunity for G2.
Yeah, that was a great play from Atomic. You talk about Com, though, and V1, it feels like things have definitely shifted for this Version1 team in terms of their overall play style. Though, I mean, even going into today, Fireburner was on V1's Twitter just kind of talking about how their overall mentality has kind of shifted as well. Just being more calm, not putting too much pressure on one player or another. And that teamwork, which we've seen a lot of teams start to adjust and adapt, as well as take on their own play style. Look at Gen.G and FaZe. That could be something that pushes Version1 to the next level. They're gonna need everybody here today and tomorrow too if they take this series, but we're still just getting things started. Right now, it's been so close between V1 and G2. That's a little awkward for Com. Could be a chance for JNaps, but Beast Mode, a great recovery on the goal line.
Boy, he can bail you out so many times. Having Beast Mode on defense is almost like a get-out-of-jail-free card Version1 just used theirs. Beast Mode back the other way, and Atomic there to swap this out. But Torment collects. Now he's going indirect for himself, and JNaps got a hand up to slow him down. Calm tried to steal the corner boost and get the ball. Very ambitious, and here it comes the other way. But without Atomic, and that hinders G2's attack.
The G2 is starting to gain more ground, more control. They went from not having much to any shots at the opening of this game to now sitting at 8. V1 on the other side of things is sitting at 5. G2, once JNaps got going, they said, okay, let's try to keep this offensive pressure up. V1 has been doing a good job, though, of moving around it and stopping things on the goal line. But 30 seconds remaining at regulation. One of them is going to have to break down defensively. It's just a matter of who.
Who blinks here in the final 20 seconds, if anybody? JNaps got this through 2. Calm and Beast Mode both up. Beast Mode more of a contingency plan there, and he eats a demolition for his efforts. Good 50 by Calm to send this downfield, but it's JNaps. Full tank of boost. All the time and space in the world. The only problem is he doesn't have Atomic. Take it off the field again. Chicago with no time on the clock. Atomic tried to bring it to ground, maybe. No, they were feeling maybe a little antsy and could not get one more touch. We go to overtime in game 1, but again, Daz, missed opportunities here for G2.
Yeah, and it's going to be really interesting to look at this series as well from just a kind of panic standpoint. Chicago doesn't panic, though, when the ball's dropped in front of him. He'll take game 1 after this great assist from Atomic.
Didn't miss that one, did they? My goodness. Sometimes you look at a shot and you go, all right, how do you defend that? I mean, you get up there and Chicago just happens to be there. And boy, has he had a fantastic winter split. Another clutch goal for G2, who has not been the best team by any stretch throughout this split, and they've had their struggles, but boy, have they come up with some highlight reel and clutch moments as we look back at the Mobile One high performance replay. It started with Calm, then JNaps with that missile to the top right, but it's Chicago, as he often does. Another clutch goal, a game winner, and G2 out to the early lead here against Version1. And boy, for V1 fans now, it's got to be sweat time, right, Daz? Because they're just, at times it feels like they've been a team waiting for something to go wrong, and something just did.
Yeah, especially in this series, V1 fans can get as wacky or as, stressed out as they want to. But the players on the field, with all the eyes on them, need to stay locked in, because once G2 smells blood in the water, they are going to strike. Version1 had to keep this as close as possible and not show any weakness on the side of G2. It was a close game 1 there, which means that you expect adjustments coming in for Ben Temple.
And you've got 2 of the better guys in charge of these squads to make those adjustments. Staffy over on the G2 side. Fireburner with Version1. Torment can't slow down. JNaps charging through the corner. Calm can catch this, though. Beast Mode can't get to the pass. JNaps, redirect was on. Beast Mode scrambled back in time. Calm in a race with JNaps, wisely off to the corner, and nobody across the way. Here comes Beast Mode, though. Catch, release, and saved by Atomic. Follow-up is sent away as well.
I mean, that's a great pre-jump from Atomic. He knew exactly where Beast Mode was going with that one and guessed it perfectly as Beast Mode was trying to take his time on the execution. Khan brings it all the way around, had a chance to slot that one home, but it goes off the post.
And Torment peeled off that play. I think he was going headhunting. Not available for a rebound. Why would you expect there to be one? Calm surely slots that. And back on the other side, at least makes up for it with a ridiculous save.
I mean, he just guessed. He just jumped and guessed. He knew the shot was coming and just put a hand up. And unfortunately for him, the shot goes right to him. V1 still scrambling on the defensive end. They finally get this to midfield. But look at this control from Atomic. Going off the ceiling. He's not done yet, trying to set up more. Chicago with the shot, and Chicago with the goal. G2 in the lead.
As soon as this gets up to the ceiling, it is trouble. Calm is never going to be able to adjust to this. And then Atomic, kind of a threat for Torment to contend with as well. And another goal for G2. 3 unanswered after that opening goal from Calm in game 1. Now Reed will bring this all the way across to Atomic. JNap's on his way back as he watches Beast Mode play that off his back line. Oh, 3v1, Beast Mode to Calm, and oh, the pass never got there. Oh, when you've got 3v1 Daz, surely you've got to score.
This is looking rough for version 1. They've had a couple of chances, after I was even 3 here this game, where they just have not been able to execute, where normally you would think, okay, this is almost a guaranteed goal. It's a very good looking opportunity, and it may come back to bite them. There's still plenty of time left on the game. 2:40 on the clock. We're hitting that halfway mark, and version 1 with the ball. Beast Mode trying to set something up, looking past Chicago, but things are starting to kind of calm down as G2 getting set in the defensive end.
I was perilously close towards the net. Calm dealt with one, and oh my goodness, he almost put one in his own net.
What is happening?
I mean, hey, at least he's an equal opportunity post hitter right now. Beast Mode. Got that corner boost. Torment avoids contact. Version 1 can try and break out here, but JNap's through the traffic again, just hindering Version 1, keeping them stuck in their own zone. Calm can't catch up to this. Beast Mode has all day. Roll one forward, and that's just going to be JNap's ball all the way as he dances around Calm. And right now, G2 look like they're almost playing with their food.
I mean, that last play, you saw Beast Mode just send it to the corner. Calm was in that corner. Seemed like a missed Calm. Maybe a chance here, though, for Torment. He puts a shot in, but Atomic, another great goal line save. Not letting anything through. Calm trying to find Beast Mode. He's playing it close, but Calm can do it all himself. He forces the equalizer.
So he hit the right post on the open net, but this one, hand in his face, and he plows right through Chicago. And he is trying to make up for that error earlier. Made a great goal line save on the other side, and then this to equalize game 2. But Atomic off the ensuing kickoff, blocked by Calm. Demolitions have been prevalent now in game 2. JNaps has taken a couple. I mean, he's had his head on a swivel, being chased by virtually everybody from version 1. It's kind of a miracle they've caught him a couple times. Beast Mode on, and Chicago with the save. Follow-up from Torment denied by Atomic. Here comes G2.
I mean, going back to that first goal that Calm scored, I kind of like the idea, right? G2 is expecting Beast Mode to be on the ball here, but for Calm, being able to mix things up, throwing them off target, has been something that may work to version 1's advantage, as Beast Mode has had a lot of shot opportunities this game. He's been sitting at 4, but every one of them has been blocked by G2. They have a good read on him, so V1 mixing it up, I think it's been working out well so far, but this is danger here. Chicago on the ball, Calm in a tough spot, but it still makes the save.
Oh, Beast Mode and Calm both went for that corner boost. Beast Mode took it, Torment with the save. A savior medal for him. What else is new? As Beast Mode will play to the corner. Doesn't have a whole lot of support with him, though. Calm a little too far behind the play. Now he'll come up, and Atomic will just power one out towards midfield, where JNap's is there to play it further over Beast Mode. Torment's got this, sure-handed at the back as always. Now Beast Mode underneath. Torment calling his own number to the backboard. Chicago the clear. Down to 5 seconds now in game 2. Headed for maybe another overtime unless Beast Mode has other plans.
Double.
Torment coming on. Can he finish? No. And Atomic's got that clear that should send us towards OT, and it does.
Calm tried to see if he can make a last-second play. Could not necessarily get too much control over the ball, so OT we go. But kickoff in favor of G2 as JNap starts it off with a strong carry, getting both Beast Mode and now Torment, but that's a strong, I mean, that's really good for Torment. Pushing all the way downfield, bump on the play, demo as well. Torment couldn't get it to midfield, and now G2 with a chance for a counterattack.
And it's only Torment at the back off the respawn, and he just got there, but there's Chicago. Denied by Calm. It was maybe headed wide anyways, as Beast Mode's got to play that out, needs a second touch, doesn't have it. And this whistles wide from JNaps. Threatening to have another short overtime, but now Torment gonna go to work. Trying to push it through Atomic. And now Beast Mode into the play. Corner boost available, he's stolen it away. Calm gonna take his time. Boy, they're giving him a lot of it. Calm trying to go to work, and Chicago denied him. JNaps avoids Torment's contact, but Beast Mode quickly to the wall. Calm had pre-jumped. And now it's JNap's back the other way. That was a very bold play out of V1. Now here's Calm again, and he missed high.
Oh, everything's working though for V1. They got G2 scrambling here on defense, trying to figure things out. But G2 able to set up a counterattack. Great shot from Chicago. Beast Mode with the save. Atomic playing the backboard. Who's up for it? Calm will leave it for Torment. Still no consistent pressure here from G2, but they are trying to turn things around. Really like the drive that we saw from Version 1. The amount of plays and everybody getting involved there on the offensive front. You didn't know who could have been able to make a goal that could have potentially won the game. They still have more work to do, but they definitely increased their pace of play.
Oh, Torment trying to put the mechanics on display, but the shot's going to go wide off the double. Now Atomic back the other way. Only one to beat, but that one is Beast Mode. He let it go by, and Calm is there to bail him out. Now Beast Mode. Oh, a redirect might have been able to beat JNaps. Instead, no contact. Dunk is off the mark as well. And Atomic narrowly avoids Calm, so Calm's got to settle for the ball. And he does clear it out to the corner with the help of Torment.
Well, Beast Mode, that ball's going to get away from him, so JNaps will have a touch out. Trying to get a little bit of control moving upfield. It's been a big mess in the last minute or so of overtime, where one team is really just trying to set up consistent offensive pressure. But you see G2 starting to show signs of life once again. They have been lighting up the scoring in the shooting department. JNaps with 8 in this game has been more than Atomic and Chicago combined, but they're one shot away, both of them at 7. Pressure has been there, but V1 has also been able to match it on their side too.
29 shots between these two teams and only 1 goal each. This is why shooting percentage is not the be-all and end-all stat, kids, because it is tanking in this game. Here goes Chicago. JNaps waiting. Pass doesn't get there, so Atomic's got to go to work. JNaps circling around in behind. Beast Mode with the save there. And we continue on now into the 4th minute of overtime. Sudden death here in game 2 with Version 1 almost certainly calling a timeout if they concede a goal here. And G2 just wondering what might have been if they allow Version 1 to tie up this series. Again, it's a long series with the best of 7 now here in the quarterfinals. Torment, after a couple defensive miscues, and Atomic kept him out. JNaps bails out G2 again. And my gosh, Version 1 just can't buy a break.
I need an Atomic highlight package. And just saves only though, because he's been making so many clutch saves in this game alone. He's got 6, and at least 3 of them have been phenomenal. Obviously, V1's been doing that on the other side as well. It's why we're still sitting here tied up 1-1 apiece. But Torment, no, on this back read, he's gonna be needed here. He can't get it, but Atomic shot is off as well. JNaps to win? No, Calm able to block that in the midfield.
Professional Rocket League players put the ball in the net challenge. Literally impossible. We continue on. JNaps up high. Atomic can't get there in time as Beast Mode clears. And this goes way down. Good dunk there to get by Chicago. So Atomic has to just hit it where they ain't. Indirect pass intended maybe for Calm, but he's too far back again, and he had to be. G2 was all over that. And Calm missed that one coming out of the corner. Torment in a spot of trouble. Only Beast Mode to stop as Calm eats a demolition on the respawn. And if that isn't karma for past sins, what is?
Ooh, touch out. JNaps trying to follow that as well. I mean, it feels like Version 1 are trying to battle their way through, but the defense from G2 is that of a sentinel, not letting anything through. 5 minutes overtime. Can JNaps end it here? He gets the dunk on Torment, and Chicago will get the follow-up. G2 have Version 1 with their head in their hands after that win.
Man, oh man. 18 saves out of Version 1, and they still could not crack the G2 defense. And almost certainly a timeout on the way. Yes, it is for Version 1. And
look at the stats.
What do you say if you're Fireburner after the, look at those numbers. What do you tell your team after that?
That's why he's the coach and I'm not. Okay, we got a timeout here as Version 1 have to talk it over. Listen, I said what I said at that goal call for a reason. You looked at that camera, Beast Mode literally head in his hands down, this is not a good situation for version 1. This is actually the perfect time for them to call a timeout, because you have to be able to, for Fireburner, he's got to get them back into the game. These are two very close games. You got to think about how long that overtime was. It was only game 2. Version 1 are still very much in this series, but if they mentally check out, G2 will take full advantage of that. You're playing for a major spot. This is where all the lights are on. This is where you have to perform. You cannot afford to check out now. This is where all that experience comes into play. They got to be able to bring beast mode and the rest of the team back into it.
JNAP's had 11 shots in that game. Those are just the ones that registered on target, and still only has 1 goal in the series to show for it. That 1 goal was, of course, that hot shot from the left side in game 1 that tied up that game after Calm's opening goal. But it's still G2 on top, thanks to that man, Chicago, who's added a couple. Calm at least made it close. But then in the end, just post after post, crossbar after crossbar, and then they made the save, didn't have anybody to follow it up. And it's G2 halfway to the semifinals, halfway to Championship Sunday, and dashing the hopes of version 1.
Man, 2 1-goal games, and it was just a lot of Rocket League played in that overtime. Defensive prowess, everybody has stepped up. You talked about, we were at 1.29 shots, definitely over 30 by the time the game was over. And for everyone to be able to have as many stops as they did and to play as close as they did, you can truly tell that, at least on the side of version 1, they're leaving everything out there. But they have to be able to come up with victories. They have to bring themselves back in it. They drop the timeout now. Big time game 3 here for V1. Let's see what they can give us.
After 40 shots in game 2, the players still are not ready to go for game 3. So we'll just kind of sit back here and we'll make sure everybody is ready to go for our 3rd game here on DFH Stadium. Want to make sure, of course, with the stakes being as high as they are, that everybody is on a level playing field. And man, 40 shots, 23 out of G2, and the 30 saves between the 2 squads. Here's the thing, though, for version 1, right, Daz? They've held G2 to a pretty low bar here. I mean, they come in averaging almost 2.5 goals. Talking about G2, They've kept them down to 2 goals in 2 overtimes. 1 very short OT, 1 very long overtime. They just haven't been able to finish on their own here. And this is not a version 1 team that's just getting by on their defense. They've had to win a couple of shootouts. They've had to run up the score a little bit. And they've been able to in clutch situations. I mean, you go back to when they were down in the series with NRG in the group stage. They've faced adversity in this invitational, but they haven't done it here in the quarterfinals when it's easily their most important match of the split so far, maybe of the season.
Exactly. Especially, there's so many outside factors and so many other kind of theories that everyone's trying to kind of figure out about this version 1 squad. But I think right now their eyes are just locked into this particular event, making the major, moving through that. They get this. Basically, they get what is like an extra timeout here, considering the fact that, just so you guys are at home are aware, G2 called a pause. Atomic's having connection issues. We'll get that figured out, get the games back on the screen soon. But this is extra time here now for version 1 to be able to really kind of discuss things and talk things over from that. The question, it comes in after this pause, will they be able to really kind of compete? I think they can. I mean, this has been as close of a series as you could ask for. Yeah. They just end up dropping that game 2, and now it's just time to reset for them.
Right. And let's say the next 2 games almost go exactly like the first 2. And let's say this turns into a sweep. Not all sweeps are created equal, right? I mean, I think people get kind of hung up on the series score and go, okay, well, I mean, G2 won the first 2 games. Clearly they're dominating, right? No, these are close games. And I think this happens a lot when a team plays very close, neck and neck with their opponent, but they don't find that crucial touch, that clutch goal that they need to ultimately take a game in a series. I mean, Version 1 is not being outclassed. They were near the start of game 2, but they turned that game around. They looked like they were going to start to turn the series around, and then, well, unfortunate save goes off the crossbar. Nobody there to back up the play. Chicago on the doorstep again. He's got both overtime winners, 2 out of his 3 goals here in this series.
It feels like time has stopped for a lot of people watching this, not just Version 1 fans.
This doesn't help Dignitas, does it?
It doesn't help Dignitas. It doesn't help the Optic match afterwards. This is just, everything is kind of frozen right now while we wait for Atomic to get back in.
So hey, if you're just joining us, first of all, where have you been? You're late, but we forgive you. We're here in the quarterfinals, first match of the day. Must be a full moon somewhere in the world. Atomic's having just a little bit of an issue, and there is a timer running on him. So right now the players are just kind of testing things out in the lobby behind the scenes, waiting for Atomic to get back in. And G2 with this 2-0 series lead after a couple of overtimes, one over in about 12 seconds and the other went over 5. Both ended by Chicago. This is a series, of course, that Version 1 has to win, and they have to do a little bit more work as well. They come in on 18 points. A win here bumps them up to 22. If they can get to the finals, they'll go to 26, which would put them past where Dignitas is right now. And then, of course, they'll wait to see what Dignitas does later today against Complexity. But Version 1, at the very least, needs to reach the grand finals here this weekend, or their hopes for the San Diego Major are dashed. And, of course, the winner here will get the winner of our next series between Shopify Rebellion and a red-hot Optic Gaming squad with AJ averaging 1.6 goals per game. Good luck slowing that down the way he's going.
Yeah, that'll be something that will a lot of people. I mean, I think just the matchups today that we have in terms of our quarterfinals have been kind of the most stagnant. Maybe it's just because of the scenarios that are going into it, but there doesn't seem like to be any real weakness here in the schedule, considering that teams are either fighting for major spots or it's just a really solid matchup. In terms of the V1 G2, you're getting both right now. Major implications as well as just good Rocket League. And we do have Atomic back, so we are going to be able to get this game set up real soon here.
Yeah, about 5 minutes went by, it looked like, from when they started going into the old test lobby and waiting for Atomic to get back. He is back and ready to go, so in just a moment here, we will get everybody back on the pitch on DFH Stadium and ready to go with Version 1 trailing 2 games to none. They've just called their timeout, and so that timeout goes from being just a little extension to a big-time break. It's almost like a media timeout in basketball. So here we go. Game 3 now. Certainly just mentally a must-win for Version 1 to give themselves something to build on here in this series and a chance to claw their way back against G2. But Atomic back in the lobby, and his first shot denied. Follow-up from Chicago never gets central, and we're off and running on DFH.
Atomic back in the lobby and back on the ball. And Atomic has been very good at creating chances here for G2. Maybe not necessarily in the scoring department, but if he can make things easy for JNABs and Chicago, I mean, I think they'll take that every day. The mechanics are there. The speed is there from Atomic. B1 are going to have to try to make him very uncomfortable as this goes on, because he's also been showing up defensively as well, especially in that game too.
I mean, if your expectation is that Atomic fills up the net, you're doing it wrong. Beast Mode's double tap off the mark, and JNAPS gets a hand up to stop Calm. Chicago's in the air as well, and Atomic there to just power this away past Calm. Atomic's got 3 assists in this series. That is his role. It has been since his days on Team Envy. And boy, has he fulfilled it better than almost anybody. Torment, full tank of boost, going up after JNAPS. It goes back towards the V1 half. Chicago's there. That's probably the worst case for Version 1, seeing Chicago anywhere near the ball. He's been a menace for them so far. And now Atomic has that pinball around, and Beast Mode has to sit on the ground. just collecting pennies right now, watching Chicago and Atomic get to play Rocket League.
Yeah, defense here from V1. Bit of a double commit there between Torment and Calm, but Calm able to get that down in the midfield. And you see Beast Mode on the ball, just beat out by JNaps. When will Beast Mode awaken? Calm though needed here, pre-jumps to touch. JNaps have full control. Torment and Beast Mode just got back. So now they're gonna be able to at least make some defensive stops, but for how long? Atomic putting in a lot of work to get that ball centered.
Calm's got both goals so far for version 1, and he feels like he should have 2 or 3 more. Chicago and Torment. 51 by Torment. Here goes Calm. Drop down to beast mode. His shot's going to be wide and controlled well by Atomic.
Calm left that ball looking for a bump on Chicago. Chicago sitting high on the back wall, but everyone's beat. Beast Mode's racing back. JNaps steals boots, going for a bump. Atomic tried to put that one on target, but couldn't. It was a great play set up there by G2, but they just missed the mark.
G2 circling around here, but still cannot get through the V1 defense, hanging on by a thread at times. JNaps now given free rein to the back wall. Chicago back out to Atomic. They called on Atomic to score, but he's stopped by Calm. Second touch to center, and JNaps gets back in time. G2 looked like they could have been caught out there on another day, but not this day, where everything seems to be going their way for the most part. Beast Mode tried to take it himself. Got a double lined up, and he'll score. There goes Beast Mode, his first of the series.
There he is. Beast Mode stepping up, Calm with the threat of the demo, forcing JNaps up early. Gave Beast Mode the space to play around him. Double tap hits. V1 on the board. 2 minutes to go.
Can they hold this lead? JNaps center to Atomic. We may find the answer out real quick. Beast Mode gets launched into the air by JNaps. Chicago double on the mark, and JNaps will hammer it home.
It all starts when JNaps takes Beast Mode out with the bump. Calm in trouble, he's flailing around. Chicago doesn't need to score it, he just needs to put it middle, and JNaps, who starts to play, finishes it as well. They strike back in 10 seconds.
Well then, Atomic gonna chase this down, give Torment something to think about. V1 has a lot to think about right now, and they don't have any time to think about it, as Beast Mode's playing this to his own corner. Calm's got to be sure-handed here with Atomic bearing down on him. And Beast Mode right at Chicago. Here comes Torment. V1 starting to push forward again. With Beast Mode way at the back, he can launch downfield again, but nobody's down there. Tough ball on the corner for Atomic, made it look easy. Now Torment for Beast Mode, couldn't get in Chicago's way. G2 looking to, again, break version 1's precious little hearts. JNaps on target save. Follow-up is floating on target, and Torment saved it.
Final minute. That's not the best touch. JNaps almost had that one lined up. Good on Beast Mode to get there in time. Torment has to chase that one down. Does get there, but right now G2, everything working in their favor. Chicago tries to take out Beast Mode, but it sails across. Can version 1 do something with this ball in midfield? The answer is no. JNaps immediately takes it up and pushes it into their own back end, and now we may see version 1 have to survive another onslaught of offense from G2. They finally get some space though, as Beast Mode sets it up for Torment. Torment puts it on, and it's in! Version 1 with the lead!
Torment without a goal or assist in this series until this little touch past JNaps, and the lead for version 1. First time they've scored more than 1 goal in any game in this series. Is it finally their time? Beast Mode looking for more, would surely put it away. Chicago the initial save, Atomic to come help out as well. Down to 20 seconds. G2 have had an answer every time so far, but nah, not this time, as Atomic and JNaps couldn't quite get on the same page. And V1 trying to milk the clock for all it's worth. Big clear downfield, Torment sends it right back. Atomic's got to go the distance with G2, and Beast Mode says, no thank you. We go to game 4 with version 1 finally on the board.
It feels like it's been about 4 games of Rocket League at this point. Version 1 taking this one. Great assist from Beast Mode to Torment. Beast Mode kind of taking this game into his own hands, but definitely had help there. Even Calm doesn't get an assist on that first goal Beast Mode scored, but when you look back at it, G2 striking back 10 seconds after definitely would cause for concern, but Version1 did not let that shake their resolve. And Torment with the lightest touch over JNaps as well. You go to see it right here, right at that 30-second mark over his head top. Now, Version1 are in the conversation. Can they claw their way back into a series where they've been playing so much Rocket League? You start to wonder if maybe, if we get a couple more overtimes, will fatigue start to set in here? And G2 still with a tactical timeout here. Game 4 getting started. Who's going to come out on top?
Utopia, the backdrop for the V1 comeback effort now, trying to tie up this series. And they're on the right foot early on here. But again, it's a marathon, certainly not a sprint. Torment waiting for Chicago to try and play past him. Now JNaps, nothing doing there. Atomic center. There's a decent one, but Beast Mode got a hand on it. Now Calm will take over from the midfield. Calm's got Torment to his right. Can't utilize him as JNaps will get the clear, and here comes G2.
Here comes G2 as well. We see Atomic in the air. You got to be a little careful. They respect, but they also challenge him on the blue side. He's slowing down, though. G2 taking this one off the sidewall. You see Chicago, good 50 against Torment. But Torment picks this one up. Torment also, mechanically, has been doing a good job of getting the ball down the field. Lots of great air dribbles. He's been able to get it past a couple of G2 defenders almost multiple times. And, of course, he was able to score a big-time goal in the game. This time he gets caught out, though, and Calm has to race back.
Well, Calm had to respect Atomic, who just opted for the boost steal. Now JNaps, hard out of the corner. Nobody there to receive. Instead, it's Torment. Only as far as Chicago. Double commit between Torment and Calm. That puts Beast Mode in an awkward spot, but he's up early to challenge Atomic. And that's well done by V1. Great recovery that prevents G2 from pouring the pressure on initially. JNaps still going to have a go. Chicago there as well, but Calm there first. And Chicago's look into the V1 end is short-lived.
Oh, flip reset from Atomic. JNaps with the shot. Oh, great goal line save from Torment. Counterattack from G2 can be sharp as a knife. But we're going the other way. Torment leaves it for Beast Mode. Beast Mode! He gets the second touch, and it goes in.
After this touch goes to the backboard, I figured that Atomic had it all the way, but he misses it. And a very rare misread out of Atomic. And Beast Mode made that look a little more interesting than it had to be, but they will take it. A 1-0 lead. V1 scored first 3 out of the first 4 games of this series. As Atomic continues on. Torment wrapping around, that's high off the backboard. Calm can't put it home. Torment on target, still denied by Chicago.
Oh, Calm, good control. JNaps, great first touch to pick this up. Pinches it off the ceiling, gets it past. Oh, Beast Mode got bumped by Atomic, but still was able to get a piece of that. Cannot count G2 out of this game just yet. Sure, they've been down a couple in a row, but you can see the threat. JNaps almost in. Chicago tried to pick it up as well, but it goes off to the side. G2 have been so close. They've been able to get past V1's defense, but when it comes to the final shot, they've been missing the mark.
Torment and Chicago with another 50. Been a treat to watch those two go head-to-head in this series. You got one of the better strikers in the league in Chicago, one of the better defenders that we've ever seen in Torment. And every game so far in this series, 2 overtimes and 1 in regulation, 2-1 scoreline. Here goes Beast Mode around JNaps. Calm streaking down the middle. Chicago's got to play it off to the side. Atomic is tracking, and he will play this right back around Calm. That's well done again by Atomic, and the G2 defense not panicking.
And good on Version1 as well. Torment was last back there and was able to slow down Atomic as well, so Beast Mode could come in and make that stop. Version1 trying not to give too much ground here. They have to be careful because Chicago, you see him put that shot on. Beast Mode in position, but he's just a few too far forward that it's an equalized scoreline. Version1 have to play strong defense against a team with strong offense for 1 minute.
Version1 has their hands full, stopping G2 from centering the ball. They don't need their own teammates doing it, and V1 have done that a couple of times, playing that ball right out into the center, and Chicago can't pop this back on target. Another missed opportunity for G2. Here goes Calm with Torment to his right. He's up the wall for this, just around Atomic, waterfall down, and well handled by JNAP. It's been a tough backboard defense from G2. They've kind of missed a couple, but have only been punished once. Now Calm. Try to waste some time here, but he played it right at JNAP. Chicago coming on. Has he done it again? No, beast mode with yet another critical save.
Man, Version1 becoming a defensive wall at this point, and you know everyone with eyes on the clock. 15 seconds left, and G2 still have a chance to tie this game up.
We've got another 1-goal differential brewing here. If V1 can hang on, Calm trying to bring it to ground. JNAP's able to stay in the air, but he couldn't get under this ball, so it's just deflected away by Torment, and V1's got the first shutout of the series.
And they're back in it. You saw Calm screaming. Momentum is starting to go into their favor. What are G2 gonna do after this performance? I'll tell you what they're gonna do. They're gonna take a timeout here to try to settle things down. They've lost 2 straight now, and now they have to talk it over.
And this is just the way we like it, right? 2-all the timeouts are burned. Something big is gonna happen in game 5, and neither of these teams are gonna have a timeout to recover from it. We're gonna see how either side addresses adversity, especially on the Version1 side, because look, they still have all the pressure. G2 is already qualified for the major. At best, they're looking for seeding, if that. They've got money and overall points to play for. So for V1, this timeout just as valuable for them, because for all the great defense we've seen, and we have seen great defense, you go back to 18 saves in that long overtime, only having to make 4 in the next game, and to make 7 this last time out. They're still giving G2 maybe a few more opportunities than they'd like. And I wonder if Fireburner is able to kind of get them calmed down after what has been a very tense couple of games.
I mean, you talk about G2 playing for seeding, but I mean, that's what is a big deal here. Also, you got to think, going into the major, teams want to be in the best group possible. We've been talking about it, the kind of groups, how the groups lead into the bracket. Some groups are stronger than others. You can look for yourself.
Yeah.
So the seeding conversation is still something that all the teams still in this tournament, GG, FaZe, G2, all are playing for that. Teams are playing into the major. Teams are trying to play for the best possible group they can get. So it's one of the reasons why I wouldn't expect anyone to think G2 would be a slouch here, because the major, I mean, we play these regional events to qualify for it, but it's about getting there and doing the best you possibly can. And you want to be able to go into it in a good group to be able to get that start going into bracket play, making things as comfortable as you can. So, I mean, G2, as they get out of this timeout, they're going to try to figure out what they can do as well. A lot of people are thinking this should be G2 to the finals, but Version1 say, hold on, we are here and we are going to make you earn that spot.
All those yellow eggs were the Dignitas fans hoping that G2 can turn things around here and take Version1 off the board. As Beast Mode will get onto this. Torment's there as well. Full team effort trying to get to just the center line for V1. And now they got to scramble back. Atomic trying to get a double kill. Only got one, and the second was Beast Mode, who just made the save and denied G2 an early goal coming out of the timeout.
Beast Mode on the ball now. Good demo. Wanted to get around the ball, but got one touch too many. So now just takes it around the field. JNAPS with a bump to try to buy some space here for Atomic. It's a scrappy game, and we're just getting it started.
JNAPS with not a lot of support on this play, and V1 recognizes that. They go right after him, and it's Calm now, trying to save it for Beast Mode. Now Torment at least played this further, but Atomic has it all the way. Tough first touch to get back to, but he's got it, and what a read by Calm. It does fall to Chicago, who bullies his way through, and I think he got through Calm there.
Yeah, I mean, well, Calm initially here is on the play, ball in the hood.
Yep.
It's beast mode. They got the same decal. It's okay. Chicago, though, low 50s that passed them to set the tone. Now Version1 racing against the clock. Plenty of time for them to get back into this game, but G2 forced their way into the lead.
So Chicago gets his 4th goal, give Atomic his 4th assist. Still yet to score in this series, but again, he hasn't really needed to. Beast mode with Calm chasing JNaps into the net. JNaps avoids him, as he's had to do so often in this series. Now Chicago, a lot of pace behind that to the back wall, but Atomic wasn't there for it. He was demolished. And then Calm made a demo himself. Now JNaps couldn't get to this. Beast mode perilously close to the mark, forces Atomic on his way back. Torment, backboard, nobody home, so Chicago can clear it away. Calm gonna loop around on one, but JNaps avoids him and makes the clear again.
Yeah, Calm has G2.
Oh, Torment!
Whoa.
Just a little wide.
Calm's had G2 jumping, though. He's looking for as many demos as he can. As this one has definitely been physical, but that's 2 big misses, and Chicago will clean it up. 2-goal lead for G2.
2 people go, I got it at the same time, and then they both go, okay, you got it right at the same time. End result, nobody's got it. Chicago's got it with his 5th goal and a 2-0 lead. This is the biggest lead anybody's had in this series.
And with so much time left in game as well. Beast mode.
I have this.
Oh, he's got it! Beast mode brings it back within 1. Quick response for V1.
It's a cheat code sometimes, you know? It's rubber band AI. You're never out of it when Beast Mode's on the pitch, and he's got him right back in it here inside 3 minutes. And now Calm quickly to the back wall. JNaps slowed him down. Beast Mode on target, and JNaps stopped that too.
Can Torment recover this? He does. Plays it high, though. Atomic stayed on that sidewall and will carry it back into midfield. Does he have more? He has a little bit of boost. We'll play it all the way into the back wall here for G2 to set things up, but G2 did have the highest lead, but now they have completely given it away, and Version1 tie up the game. What happened here?
What happened here was G2 was getting a little bored. They're like, yeah, no. Let's make this actually a game. I guess Version1 has taken this right back at the halfway mark. What do you got? About 2 goals, a minute and change apart after Chicago looked like he was going to take this series over. Instead, giving it right back to Version1. JNaps playing this one high across. Atomic try to drop it out to Chicago, maybe a little too strong as he couldn't get his momentum forward. And then JNaps never had a chance here. Torment with Calm downfield. Chicago's got to have it. He does. He's going to burn all his boost trying to keep this available. And Calm just pumps the brakes. JNaps having none of it.
Now can Version1 kind of build on this momentum? They've gotten 2 back-to-back here. Success has been on offense. G2 has looked a little shaky, oddly enough. And what was once a very kind of physical game has started to shift directions as both teams just trying to get that semblance of offensive control again. Been a lot of miscommunications here as well, but it feels like everybody's started to reset.
Everybody's got to send the message. Quit being so friendly and polite. Y'all are opponents, enemies, supposed to hit each other, do something. All knotted up at 2. Both teams have been actually very comfortable on the defensive end. There's a demo from Chicago. And Atomic will lob this in Torment's direction. Boy, another dangerous ball thrown across. I'm going to tell you, Daz, I think Version1 has done a better job centering the ball than G2 has.
Yeah, you saw Torment hand on his head with that one because Chicago's right there. Calm is in a position. You see Calm died for it, but I don't think the ball should have ever went towards him in the first place.
Well, Chicago gets some help from his friends across the way. Beast Mode trying to get that goal right back. He can't. Now it is kind of panic stations for Version1. In danger of facing match point now. Chicago has to play this back to his own back line. Beast Mode waiting, and Atomic. Oh, what a quick read. I mean, Beast Mode has that all lined up all day, and Atomic still swoops in to take it away. Now Chicago just trying to waste some time. Has he wasted enough? Torment trying to get the dunk. Not happening. Beast Mode got to be quick, and he is around Chicago. And Chicago still manages to get to this. Again, Calm was way back, and he's got to play this from in front of the box. Torment got a chance. Got to bring this back central. Calm is there, but so too is JNAPS. And the final countdown now in game 5. Almost on the mark. Bank not quite open. Torment down in front, and he scores!
No way! This one looked like a pipe dream. Beast Mode sets it up. Torment had less than 10 boosts. Got around the ball, put it in, and we are still playing here on Wasteland.
This game makes absolutely no sense. 1 second, no seconds. Overtime again for the 3rd time in this series. And it could end quickly again. Chicago has both overtime winners for G2. And he's on the ball again, but only for a moment. Calm now with Torment. Gonna take over. Beast Mode in behind him. Torment dropped down for Calm. Not there, and Chicago couldn't get the corner boost. It was taken instead by Torment, so he can rush back and help out Beast Mode and Calm on this defensive stand. He's gonna need that boost because here comes Reed, and it's Calm in from the back to make the stop.
A lot of questions of how or why in terms of goal scored in this series, but not enough time to be able to answer all of them as the action still continues on. Oh, Calm chased down by JNAPS, but was able to put a shot. Also gets a big demo on the play. Looking for a bump on JNAPS as well, but Beast Mode has the ball on the completely other end of the field and has to go the distance. Torment, he's pushing up on the side. He's up in the air for this. Atomic, though, able to get the read. Calm in a tough spot between two G2 members, but will make it out of that with at least a 50. It's been shaky, though, on both ends of the field.
I think they were gearing up for a big shot, and the follow-up never came from G2 there, so Beast Mode had jumped early and then realized he had to recover, so they couldn't get a powerful clear. That allows G2 to stay on the attack. Atomic, it's off. Beast Mode kept it out. Daddy still does. It was 99% across, but G2 are denied a game winner on Wasteland.
Oh my God. How has Version1 stayed in this game? I don't understand it.
Houdini.
I really don't understand it. From the 0-second goal, even to now, at this point,
Maybe it's destiny. There might be something to it here as Beast Mode brings us to the backboard. Oh, imagine if Version1 can eke out a win after all that. After all the momentum and everything statistically and historically seems to be against them in this series. Calm's got to give way to Beast Mode. I thought Calm was going to center that one too. This time he stops Atomic, and Chicago twirling through. He's not going to get back onto this, so Beast Mode can lob it up. Calm can take over, and JNAPS is there to say no.
50's coming out. Atomic pops that one in the air. And Beast Mode, though, will try to pick it up. A couple of chain dashes, but couldn't necessarily get the touch. Now JNAPS with the carry. He's got Chicago in the wing. JNAPS gets it past one. Calm. Oh, close save. He got the follow-up off the post touch. I mean, it may be magic that's keeping Version1 in this one, but the overtime continues on, and we're hitting that 3-minute mark, and we played a lot of Rocket League, and it's starting to show here from what we've been seeing on the field.
Calm has hit so many posts on either end of the field, he's actually going to have a postcard. It is JNAPS to try and play this off the feed from Atomic, and he's just going down looking for boost and bumps and demos. He's going to circle back around. Beast Mode had that go over his head. Opportunity again for G2, but is cut out by Calm. Another lengthy overtime here has come to a close with JNAPS getting the steal and the game winner and a 3-2 series lead.
Calm tries to go for a flip reset, tries to turn it into a dunk. Beast Mode is right under him, and JNAPS takes the ball, pushes it into the net. There's no one home. And G2 put the series on match point. Finally.
Every single game so far just 1 goal the difference. A 3rd overtime in a row for G2. After they took the first 2, now they take game 5. Yeah, all of G2's wins have been overtime winners. That's the key, right? As we look back at the Mobile 1 high performance replay, V1 just, it used to be don't take G2 to game 5. Now it's don't take them to overtime. Now they need to take them to Champions Field if they want to have a shot at the San Diego Major.
I threw the notebook out after that game because the way
I just got a bunch of scribbles on it.
The way that version 1 was able to stay alive offensively and defensively was so uncharacteristic from just them, but also on the side of G2, that we're here in game 6. And even though G2 won that, version 1 are playing with their major spot on the line, we talk about the pressure that these teams go through. They've got to break through that if they want to have a chance at San Diego, but G2 is shutting the door. Chicago scores first.
The numbers just keep piling up. And it's almost like Chicago and Atomic are joined at the hip. 7 goals for Chicago, 7 assists now for Atomic. And the hits just keep on coming. How does V1 recover this time? It'll start with Calm. Double tap? No, it's Atomic in the way. And the demolition on beast mode will certainly not help version 1. Torment's got to come in and try to create. He's been able to in this series, and he almost did there with Calm waiting on the doorstep. Beast mode was back in the play, but couldn't quite get up in time. That bump from Calm could help, but a double commit from beast mode and Torment. Can beast mode still score? No, but Calm can. He's inevitable, and we're tied.
Look at this, beast mode. Great replays it off the ceiling. The extra follow-up, Atomic just didn't stand a chance there. And Calm able to clean that play all up. Will we see another potential beast mode awakening on Neo Tokyo Stacks? We've seen it before. It was a long time ago. And he may be needed here with version 1's back against the wall.
Well, Calm couldn't get around Atomic, but Torment can. Calm's still down there, and JNAP's quickly recognizing the threat. Able to cut it out. Chicago got a piece of that high bouncer. And Atomic is there just ahead of Calm, almost like he baited him in for that challenge. Now Chicago's shot will find the mark again. It does not have to have a lot of pace. It just has to be on the mark. And Chicago's got another from Atomic.
It's a great dunk, but also you see Atomic there as well. After he sets up Chicago initially, he gets that extra bump on Torment, making the save that much harder and making the shot that much easier for Chicago. Big time setup for Atomic in that goal.
Atomic has that out central, but Calm will take it away, and that's a great stop by the G2 defense. They almost had him bracketed. 1 behind, 1 in front. And now Torment's got to try and clear this away. Atomic near the mark. Ooh. And with Chicago coming in on the weak side, danger was brewing, but V1 weathers the storm. This goes harmlessly the other way, and a quick pinch back downfield. G2 really trying to put the pressure on.
God.
And after all that, Torment just goes right between the eyes.
He's able to read it. The reaction, the initial pitch, this one goes midfield, and Torment is there to bring V1 back in it. Here we go.
You somehow have to be quicker than that. It looked like G2 was just zipping the ball around the field, and V1 was going to have a tough time catching up. No, Torment with the time stone just happened to be in the right place at the right time. Now beast mode. Gave that away to JNAPS. 2-on-1 the other way. Calm coming in to help out. That certainly assists Torment and takes a big load off his shoulders. Beast mode. Where's he going? Right at Chicago, and it doesn't end well for him. Could end very well for G2 with JNAPS trying to bully his way through traffic. And they add another obstacle for version 1 to overcome. Where's beast mode going to finally awaken? He's around 1, couldn't get through JNAPS.
Chicago on the ball now, bringing things upfield for G2, only just to be cut out by Torment. JNAPS with this one on the hood gets it over 1, tries to get it over 2, past Chicago, so now here's Atomic. Danger here, forces 2 up there, as they all know the threat of Atomic. Time ticking down. G2 with just a little A little bit of finesse trying to make that version 1 defense awkward, but V1 stand tall. Torment tried to put a quick shot on, but JNaps was there.
Indirect for Beast Mode. That's good teamwork, getting back deep into the zone. Beast Mode served it up for Calm through some defensive contact, but nothing brewing for version 1 anymore. Here comes G2 and JNaps with that corner boost up for grabs, and that could be real scary now for V1. They are playing with fire and almost asking to get burned. Chicago almost got dunked on by Beast Mode. JNaps has this to the side. They are going to escape relatively unscathed. Torment, with Beast Mode getting that full tank of boost, had to put the brakes on. So it's Calm that has to take over from Torment. And a lot of hesitation here. Beast Mode will take his shot, but JNaps just got a piece.
Then very hesitant on the side of version 1. A little slow. Obviously, no one wants to make a mistake that could close the door on their major hopes. But they got to score if they want to force that game 7. Someone has to take that extra step. Final minute in game 6, and we're all tied up.
Beast Mode camping the midfield boost. Waiting for his moment. Torment shot denied by JNaps. Follow up now from Beast Mode. Up high. And Torment bouncer saved by Chicago. Little role reversal. Chicago making the save on one of the better goalies in the league.
Beast Mode got a little bump out. Calm. What's he going to do with this one? Good control. Plays it to the low 50. It bounces up high. No one's able to read it. Torment to the top right. Top right. Tommy strikes. V1 in the lead with 30 seconds to go.
Oh my goodness. The chaos in front. In the last 10 matches, V1 has only gone to game 7 one time with G2. They won that series. Could we see a little bit more here? Beast Mode stops JNaps. Torment back the other way. More time burning off the clock. Calm's gonna bring this all the way to the back wall, and they'll time that perfectly to send it right back out, but there's no possession. So they've invited G2 to have one more look at an equalizer.
Oh, dangerous.
What else could happen here in this series? Chicago can't keep it in the air, and we will go to Champions Field on a snowy Saturday.
Version 1, to keep the major hopes alive, are going the distance. Version 1 fans are used to this already.
This is another day in the life.
No timeouts, no room for error. You just have to win in 5 minutes of Rocket League against a G2 monster, because they have looked like that this series. They've been very threatening on offense. Chicago's been hitting the marks. He's not Reece Simmons today, he's Reed Curry. JNaps has also been a threat as well. And of course, Atomic's just Atomic. This is a true test of version 1's mettle. They win this one, they're going to be put in a great spot moving forward in the tournament.
Version 1 going the distance. Look, Lawler and Supersonic probably knew better. They were probably multitasking and not even paying attention for the first 5 games of this series. They knew it would come down to this point here. Champions Field for version 1 to keep their hopes alive and advance to Championship Sunday and apply a little more pressure to Dignitas later today. Here we go.
How do you perform when the lights are on and everyone's watching? Version 1 gets the answer to that question. All the pressure on them. Can they continue to make a run here in the Winter Invitational?
Something's got to give here, right? As Torment couldn't quite get to that. It bounced way up. Now Atomic has brought that central, but Chicago is right there for it. Now Chicago trying to bank around. Torment just made the save. Follow-up is saved by Beast Mode. And version 1 hold the line. Again, a 5-match win streak for G2 over version 1 on the line here. And version 1 7-0 with this trio in game 7. Something has to change, surely. Torment for Calm up ahead, intercepted by Chicago. Atomic's there looking for his first goal of the series. Instead, he should have had another assist, but JNaps couldn't line it up.
Expect the unexpected in both good and bad. Torment makes that save, but you saw Beast Mode look like it was going to be a routine effort for him. Missed, and even J-Naps was thrown off by that. When the nerves get to you, sometimes you either see mistakes, other times you'll see magic. What will we get here as Game 7 continues?
I think one of the biggest reasons that Version 1 has had success in late series like there's long series like this, they've got something G2 doesn't. A world champion and a world championship MVP at that. And he's right behind Beast Mode right now, coming up, creeping up to challenge Chicago. He's played this into the corner. Calm with the demo behind the play, takes out Chicago. Might be the only way he was going to get back on defense, and he's there in case J-Naps needed help. He still might. So Chicago up the ladder to clear this out, and back and forth we go.
Version 1 trying to maintain the pace. Good boost steals Torment. Gets demoed though by J-Naps, who will turn on this ball after picking up the mid boost. J-Naps hasn't had too many shot opportunities. We saw the Game 1 laser from him, but not been too threatening in the shooting department since then. Will this be the game where he decides to awaken and become the true marksman he is? Beast Mode there to stop the shot. Chicago's follow-up is blocked out as well.
All right, Beast Mode read that play beautifully. At the halfway mark, who's gonna give? J-Naps got it through! Two-time world finalist comes up big again for his 4th goal.
Takes the ball, plays it low. Torment's expecting a high pop. J-Naps sinks it right under him. Cue the countdown. Version 1, 2:22. They gotta get back in this game. They don't got a lot of time to do it.
Version 1 has faced every challenge G2 has thrown their way and, for the most part, answered back. Calm trying to do just that, but Chicago in the way, and J-Naps deletes Beast Mode.
Oh.
This is close. Beast Mode's got to have it, and he does off the respawn, but Atomic stole his boost away. So now J-Naps to center. Not having it is Torment. And Calm, with Torment getting that demolition, makes that clearance a lot easier. Atomic bringing this back. This could be trouble if Chicago doesn't have it, but he does. And Torment can only slow it down in midfield. He needs to buy his teammates time. And he's bought as much as he can. Calm on target and saved away by Naps.
Oh man, this is still so concerning on that Torment touch. The only reason he is up there for so long is because Beast Mode tried to pre-jump out of nowhere, completely removed himself out the play. Beast Mode's here again, but V1 have to remain composed here in this moment. Sure, you're down. Sure, you have to force the effort. But if you take yourself out and put your team in a worse spot, it could only mean danger. Beast Mode, though, putting the danger on the offense. Chance here for Torment, but he's too slow. J-Naps gets to the ball first. Back into the midfield as Atomic will clear it away. And V1 need to apply the pressure. Time is not on their side as we approach the final minute. But Calm does it all himself. Insane goal to bring V1 back.
My gosh, indirect for himself, no problem, no pressure. Calm with 1:04 to go, saves Version 1 again. His 5th goal, 13th on the weekend, and Beast Mode comes alive with a kickoff goal, and they've turned this series on its head.
What? Kickoff, Beast Mode with the soft cheat, catches Chicago and J-Naps out. Now all V1 gotta do is hold on. They've completely flipped the script and they've got the momentum.
All 3 wins for G2 in this series have come in overtime. Version 1 have only won in regulation, and we may be headed to another OT. Atomic picked a fine time to score his first goal of the day.
J-Naps is nasty. Off the kickoff, gets it past 2 with the low 50 and into the flick over. That is extra work J-Naps has been putting in this game to keep G2 in it.
G2 again trying to extinguish the flame of hope for Version 1. Make it 6 in a row against V1 in the RLCS. And no, Beast Mode coming across. Atomic looked like he had it lined up. But I would have loved to see what would happen if Beast Mode didn't jump in front. Now he's got to range back and slow this down. Chicago for J-Naps, and Torment got a piece. Follow-up is saved by Beast Mode. Oh, the saves coming in left, right, and center now for Version 1. But they do weather the storm. They do get back onto the orange half. But for how much longer? Overtime is looming here on Champions Field. It could not get any more tense for V1. And for Atomic, the bank is open with 5 seconds left.
Are you kidding me? Look at Atomic dance around V1. Magic on the side of G2. They got 5 seconds to hold on.
He didn't score a goal for about 45 minutes. And in the last 2, he scored him in the final minute. Beast mode, length of the field needed. Version 1 hanging on for dear life to any sliver of hope. Beast mode, full tank of boost. Got plenty. Oh, it's coming down though. He's gonna get to the ground and he can't in time. G2 takes down V1.